Dear friends and music lovers, we are very happy to welcome you to our online festival Dialoge. Many different artists, lots of interesting chamber music, and a little dose of humor await you on every Sunday during the next 6 weeks. We are very thankful to RAN Kulturfonds for the support of making the festival possible. In a few minutes, the first concert will start. Chiara Opaglio and Owen Ducrot will play music by Beethoven, Brahms, and Saint-Saëns and share with you their thoughts about music and life during the interviews. Subscribe to our channel and don't miss the upcoming performances. Enjoy the concert and see you next Sunday. Since you know each other very well, could you please describe each other in a few sentences?
Chiara is extremely genuine. What you see is what you get. There's nothing sneaky about her. She is just honest and kind, maybe too kind for her own good sometimes, and incredibly talented.
Yes. Well, it's not an easy question because we are also a couple in life since 5 years. When I think about Owen, is that it's very easy for me to be with him. Like, he always makes me comfortable, and his way to be honest and funny, it just fits with me, and he's so spontaneous, and this is the thing I like the most.
Who are the most important people, personalities, and who has most influenced your musical growth and tastes?
My first biggest influence is definitely my mother, who is a pianist and flautist in Ireland. She always inspired me to become a musician. The second biggest influence would have to be my teacher, Rafael Oleg, ex-teacher now, but he taught me humility and truth in playing the violin. And my most recent and biggest influence of all is also Chiara, for sure, who I work with since many years, even before we ended up dating. And when I met her, it changed my life of playing music with others.
Well, Owen, obviously. Working very often together is, I think it inspired me a lot during these last 5 years. So for sure, the work that we do together is very important for me and for my personal growing as a musician. If I go back, for sure, my ex-teacher, Claudio Martinez, for sure he influenced my life and my musical view very much, since I'm in Basel, basically. And there's a third person also, which is Sir Andras Schiff. He also changed completely my way to make music and to approach music. So these three personalities.
Of course, for all of us, the lockdown became a huge part of our lives. How did you spend it?
The first lockdown, I spent it mostly cooking and eating, and I tried also to do some workout, but it didn't last long. For the musical aspect, I stopped for a few months, like I think everyone, and that helped me to think more in what I really wanted to do in the future. So the fact that I stopped to do something that I was used to do, so playing and preparing for concerts and having contact with people, I think that just made me really realize what I would like to do.
I mostly played FIFA on the PlayStation. That's pretty much all I did for the whole lockdown, and eating a lot of food like everyone, and a little bit of violin here or there.
How do you see the future of the classical music industry? How do you think things will develop, and if you could change or influence them, what would you do in the future?
So that's a difficult question for me, because how I see the musical industries in the future is not what I like the most in classical music, because for me it's very much connected to medias and social medias, and the way that I see in the future is more about how something looks like than what is actually the fundamental of music. So this is how I see it a little bit, and if I would change something, is exactly this. I would change from the technical and the, let's say, the no contact with people, but just a superficial part that we can show. So through phones and through through laptops, and I would just go back to the real contact with people and to the real feeling with an audience with which you can communicate also. This is what I would change, but I don't think it's going to be possible. I think this is we just have to try to adapt more to the new way to make music and new way to communicate with the people.
I mean, there are two directions. There's the kind of commercialization of classical music, which worries me a bit. Of course, I do agree that the classical music should be brought to every kind of audience, but also there's a danger of cheapening the art, if that makes sense. And I think, in my opinion, classical music has always been fine for hundreds of years, and it's still fine.
How do you think, when playing the compositions of great composers, or any composer, how much can you be free in your interpretation, and should you draw a line that must not be crossed?
Well, I think that there is a limit for everything. I think that you can be free as much as you feel that you can be free with any composer. I have an image in my mind which goes automatically to food and to cooking, because that's one of the things I like to do the most, besides playing the piano and making music. It's a little bit like when you put a lot of butter in every dish. I think is a little bit the same thing. Like, you can be free as much as you put the butter in the dish that you want. It's like if there's too much, if you're too free, it becomes too fat and becomes like not nice anymore. But I think that it's just you should feel how much you can be free. And I don't know, is it every composer or like any composer? Yeah, probably the composers for me that I think I can be the least free are the composers that they're the most far from me, maybe. So I don't know. In my case, I think more about maybe Shostakovich or Prokofiev. They're the most far, but not the one that I like the least. Of course, I love them, but maybe I still have to figure them out a bit more. Yeah.
I think that there are limits of how far you should go in playing the music already composed by some of the greatest human beings of all time. So to take complete freedom into your own hands and do it however you want, I don't agree with that, probably. But also to be afraid of expressing yourself through music is also not the right way. So there's a line that you have to balance on more than crossing or not crossing.
Do you prefer to live in a city apartment or a country house?
Country house.
Country house.
Would you rather die young and rich or old and poor?
Old and poor.
Old and poor.
When do you think you will be old?
When?
I'm already feeling like I'm getting a bit old. Probably because I haven't been able to play any football for about a year, so I feel it on my gut. But no, I still feel relatively young.
Would you rather drink 3 espressos or 3 glasses of wine before playing a concert?
3 glasses of wine.
Wine, for sure.
Would you prefer doing yoga or watching TV?
TV.
Watching TV.
3 things you do every morning?
Coffee. And I look at my half, him, and I think I have to feed my cats.
Snooze my alarm about 15 times, and then reluctantly get out of bed. Probably bacon and eggs on the menu, and think about my day.
What is your very first childhood memory regarding your instrument?
Playing together with my mother.
My parents wanted me to play for guests, so I just thought about this thing, like forcing me a little bit to play for the guests because I was so young and I was very, let's say, talented for the young age, and they wanted me to always to play for people at home.
Your favorite drink?
Beer.
Vodka cranberries.
Your least favorite food?
Least favorite food. Oh my god, I can't think of anything. Peppers. For sure, peppers or anything that is too spicy. Yeah.
Vegetables, any kind.
What would you say now to your 10 years younger self?
To enjoy more the little things and to don't think too much about the future, but to think more about taking care of the small things.
Yeah. It's all good, bro.